I'm Bex and I'm going to take you through an energizing morning flow. This is the sort of practice that I take myself through every single morning, varying times. It can be a couple of minutes, it can be up to an hour, depending on how much time I've got. But there's usually something that gets me going in the morning and just gets me moving. So this is quite a dynamic and energetic flow, just to get the juices going, the blood pumping around the body, and just to energize the whole body, so it sort of sets you up for the day. And it helps to, I think, bring some motivation throughout your day. It creates a little initial structure, so it helps you to sort of get moving, get thinking, and just start your day right. So yeah, with that said, so finding yourself a space, you don't have to have a mat, you just allow yourself to have some space around you just to bring yourself into the flow. It's only going to be about 15 minutes long, so just enough to get that blood going first thing. So imagine that you've just woken up, giving yourself a nice stretch of the arms, walking to the top of your mat if you've got one, or just the top of the space that you've got. I'm just going to place our hands at heart center here and just tune into our breath. So even though it's a relatively quick flow, I still want you to tune into your breath. So just maybe closing down your eyes and taking a deep inhale here, allowing the belly to expand outwards, and exhale. Really empty the lungs here, fully exhale. Inhaling and exhale. One more deep inhale. Really fill the lungs at the top, hold it here, and as you exhale, sigh it out, but really get rid of all that air. So from here, we're just going to inhale, take the arms wide and up, palms to meet. Exhale, bend the knees generously, we'll come down to a forward fold. So nice generous bend in the knees here, just to start to wake up the hamstrings. Maybe just grabbing either elbow, let your head hang, shaking it out yes and no. So really, from the waist upwards, you're nice and heavy, just hanging here. Maybe starting to pedal out through the legs. Starting to wake up each set of hamstrings on each leg. We're going to inhale up to a flat back. Exhale, bend the knees, come down to forward fold. Inhaling up to a flat back. And exhale, taking yourself down to forward fold. This time we're going to inhale, so you rise up to standing, arms come wide, palms to touch, maybe gentle back bend. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to inhale up one more time. Exhale, come down to forward fold. Still keeping that nice bend in the legs. We're going to inhale up to a flat back here, straightening out the arms and the legs. And if you have a block, you can place it into the front of your feet here, but otherwise you can still use it without a block. Placing those left fingertips onto the ground, again keeping that bend in the legs to accommodate your position. We're just going to draw that right arm up to the ceiling. As you exhale, swapping your hands over, so you're bending into the right knee this time, straighten out through the left. One more time, swapping the left hand down, bend into that left knee, straighten out the right fingertips up to the ceiling. Exhale, swapping the hands over, and twist. Nice and gently. So we're going to inhale up to a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Maybe tucking yourself in a little bit more. Inhale, so you rise up to standing one more time. Palms to meet, gentle back bend. Exhale, hands to heart center. This time we're going to take it down to the ground. So we're going to inhale, take us down. Inhale up. Exhale, bend the knees, come down to forward fold. Inhale, slowly rise up to half back position. Exhale, hands to the ground. We're going to step it back to a plank position. So you want your fingertips spread out wide, index fingers are nice and parallel to one another, and really press the ground away. Get that tug of the tailbone and bring the belly button up to the spine. We're going to inhale, bring the weight forward, pressing into the fingertips, and exhale, slowly lower down, elbows shade the sides, coming down, untucking the toes. Now we're on our belly. One way to invigorate the body first thing is to open the chest out and really stretch out the front body. So we're going to inhale up to cobra, baby cobra, really pressing the pelvis and the tops of the feet into the ground. Relax your shoulders down. Exhale, coming down to the ground, pressing ourselves up to all fours, big toes to touch, and sink back into the hips for child's pose. So again, we're going to stay here very briefly. This is a restorative pose, but we're just opening out into the hips, extending the arms forward, feeling that space in the upper back, but also feeling that nice space to the lower back happening as well. Bringing in some nice movements, just gently wiggle yourself around. It might help if your knees are closer together, depending on the shape of your hips. All hip shapes are different. Mainly for women, you might want to bring our knees out nice and wide, just to accommodate that space. We're going to inhale, bring ourselves up into sort of tabletop position, and just have your knees to stack directly below your hips, and that your wrists are directly stacked below your shoulders. And your index fingers now are going to be running parallel with each other, fingers splayed out nice and wide. And as we inhale, we're going to drop the belly down, gaze forward, open out the chest, and exhale, press the ground away for cat. Sink that head down. We're going to inhale, open out the chest, drop the belly down, gaze forward. Exhale, lift the belly up to the spine, drop the head down. One more time, inhale, gaze forward. This time as we exhale, we're going to sink back into the heels, just a brief child's pose. We're going to inhale, so you rise back up for cow, dropping the belly down, gaze forward. And exhale, belly button up to the spine, round the upper back and sit back into the heels. Inhale, so you rise back up to tabletop position once more. And exhale, pressing it down into the heels. So from here, we're going to take ourselves back up to all fours, and we're going to step ourselves back into plank. So from here, we're going to inhale, shift the weight forward, and exhale, come down to the ground, nice and slowly, elbows shading the sides. Untucking the toes, and inhale, up to cobra. Exhale, come back down. If it's in your practice to take upward facing dog, we're going to slide the hands down to the lower ribs, press the tops of the feet into the mat, start to engage the lower body, squeezing through the glutes, engaging your back, and as you inhale, you're going to lift your hips and thighs off the ground, nice and controlled, and either exhale through all fours or over the toes, the downward facing dog. So downward facing dog, this is the first one of the morning, so you want to be nice and gentle with yourself. Create that nice generous bend in the knees, pedaling out through the feet, and maybe just adjusting your stance just so that your head can fall nicely between your arms. So your spine is nicely aligned here. My mat is quite slippery first thing. It sort of gets the grip when you warm up and sweat out, so I'm hoping I don't face plant this mat. So it'll be nice and interesting. As we inhale, we're going to take the right leg up to the ceiling, and exhale, take that foot between the hands. We're going to sink here, just open out through the hips as you inhale. Exhale, move out of it slightly, so bending over that front leg now straight. Inhale, bend back into it. And exhale, we're going to bend over. One more time as we inhale, open out the chest. We're going to place that left palm to the inside of the right foot and draw the right arm up to the ceiling for a nice twist. Nice and strong to that back leg. As you exhale, take the right hand back down to the ground and step it back through plank or through all fours, whichever's in your practice. We're going to inhale, shift the weight forward slightly beyond the hands, and exhale, come down to the ground. We're going to untuck those toes, and we're going to inhale up either to cobra or to upward facing dog, and exhale through all fours or over the toes to downward facing dog. This time we're going to inhale, take that left leg up. Exhale, shift knee to nose and step between the hands. So just going to sink here nicely into our lunge, making sure the top doesn't sit too far down, because that could be embarrassing. And exhale, straighten out through that front leg. So again, nice stretch of the hamstrings, that front leg this time. Inhale takes you into that stretch through that back hip flexor. Exhale takes you into the front leg. One more time, inhale, chest forward. Exhale, bend over that front leg. It's very tight first thing in the morning, so be gentle on yourself. Listen to your body. So now placing that right hand to the inside that left foot, and we're drawing that left arm up to the ceiling. As we exhale, take that left hand back down to the ground, stepping it back through plank or all fours. Inhale, shift the weight forward slightly beyond the hands, press into your fingertips. Exhale, elbows shade the sides, coming down to the belly. Untuck the toes. Once more, inhaling up to either cobra or upward facing dog. and exhale over the toes or through all fours to downward facing dog. So this time we're going to inhale, take the right leg up, but this time as we shift, exhale, take that right knee to the back of the right wrist. I'm just going to sink ourselves down to pigeon pose. So this is quite an intense pose on the hips, so you may want to place a block underneath the hips here, just take too much pressure away if you're feeling it through the knee. But otherwise, sinking ourselves down to the pose, so it's going to be quite dynamic. Instead of holding the pose for too long, we're going to keep it nice and energized, keep the movement going. So we're going to inhale here, squeezing that right glute, engage the back leg as much as the front leg. Exhale, come down over the front leg. Inhale and exhale, feeling that length through the spine. Inhale, you want to keep that nice movement of fluidity through the body. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, come down. One more time as we inhale, take it up. Exhale, we're going to come down. Maybe you take the hands down to the ground. We're going to briefly hold the position. Allow yourself to relax fully into the pose. Really gain that deep stretch, that right glute muscle here. Opening out through the glute, the right side of the hip. We're going to inhale, walk ourselves back up. And we're going to step ourselves back through downward facing dog. One more time as we inhale, that left leg up to the ceiling. This time we're going to place that left knee to the back of that left wrist. So again, find your position here. It might take a little bit of a while to maneuver your pelvis and your legs into the position when it's comfortable. Again, first thing, a little bit stiff. So we're going to inhale up, exhale, move down. Inhale up, and this movement helps the fascia to release throughout the body. That's all that connective tissue that's sort of coating the entire surface of our bodies underneath our skin. We want to become nice and mobile. That's that stiffness that you feel first thing in the morning. So moving with your breath, inhale and exhale, coming down, taking the hands down to the ground, resting the forehead onto your arms. So really allowing yourself to surrender into the pose, feeling that nice release now through the back of that left glute muscle. With each inhale, feeling the back body, the back side of the ribs expanding. We're going to walk ourselves back up, step it back through downward facing dog, stretch out the shoulders one more time. And we're going to take the knees down to the ground, big toes to touch, and child's pose. Just briefly, keeping the hips moving, feeling that space in the upper back, and now we're going to walk our hands up to a seated position, nice and comfortably. So from here, finding yourself in a nice seated position. You can sit on a block if it's more comfortable for you. Gives you a little bit of height and elevates those hips a little bit higher to give that nice tilt, posterior tilt. So we're going to inhale up here with both arms. Exhale, take those left fingertips down, reach through with the right and take yourself over. Inhale, taking it up. Exhale, the right fingertips down. This time really reach yourself over. Feel that space through that side body. Inhale. Exhale, stretching it over. Inhaling up. Exhale, taking it over. Inhale, take those arms up. Exhale, take the hands to heart center. And thank you so much, that was it. It's a very quick practice, but it hopefully gets the body moving, gets the blood flowing, the juices circulating around your body, and sets you up for a productive and energized day. So yeah, thank you so much for practicing with me, and have a great day. Thank you so much.